I grew up in a house where that adoption talk happened every year on my birthday, like some kind of weird, sentimental anniversary. My parents, bless them, were always honest. They told me my biological mother was a free spirit who wanted me to have a solid foundation. For 24 years, I pictured her as some nomadic artist living in a van, until I turned 25 and decided I needed a name. I didn't hire a detective in a trench coat, though. I did something much more millennial. I submitted my spit to a DNA website and waited 6 weeks for an email. Meanwhile, I just moved into this cozy brownstone in Brooklyn. My neighbor, Mrs. Gable, a sharp, elegant woman in her 60s who smelled like expensive lavender and Chanel, basically became my surrogate grandmother. She taught me how to bake a proper sourdough, let me borrow her high-end tools, and always told me I had the eyes of an artist. Then, the email came. I opened the results at 2 in the morning, expecting a list of distant cousins in Ohio. Instead, there was a parent match. High confidence. 100% match. Her name was Evelyn Gable. I didn't sleep. I just stared at the wall, thinking about all the times I'd sat on her velvet sofa, drinking tea, while my actual mother was talking about the weather. The next day was Thanksgiving. Evelyn had invited me over because she knew I was alone. I walked into her dining room, clutching a bottle of wine like a lifeline. The table was set for 10. Her grown children were there, 2 high-powered lawyers who looked at me like I was the charity case neighbor. Halfway through the turkey, Evelyn raised her glass. She started talking about how family isn't just blood, and how lucky she felt to have found a friend in me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit there and eat her stuffing while my phone was buzzing with a notification from a lab. I cleared my throat, my heart doing backflips in my chest. I said, "Evelyn, I got my DNA results back last night." The room went quiet. One of the lawyers, Marcus, smirked and asked, "Oh yeah? Find out you're a duke or something?" I looked Evelyn right in the eye. "I found out that you're my mother." The silence was deafening. Evelyn's wineglass didn't just shake, it shattered. Red wine everywhere. Like a crime scene on the white tablecloth. She didn't deny it. She didn't scream. She just leaned back, her face turning as white as a sheet, and whispered, "I told them they promised me you went to a family in California." Turns out, she was 19, terrified, and her parents had forced the adoption. She spent 30 years wondering where I was, never dreaming I'd literally move in next door. The lawyers? They didn't take it well. Marcus asked if this meant I was in the will, while his sister, Sarah, just kept checking her reflection in a spoon, looking horrified. But Evelyn? She stood up, walked around that messy, wine-stained table, and hugged me so hard I couldn't breathe. "It's been a year now. I still live next door, but we knocked down the fence between our small backyards. My adoptive parents finally met her last Christmas, and yeah, it was beyond awkward at first. My dad kept calling her ma'am and my mom was hovering over the appetizers like she was guarding a fort. But then, they started talking about me as a baby. And suddenly, the room didn't feel like a standoff. It felt like a crowd. My life didn't get divided. It got multiplied. Marcus still won't talk to me unless it's about property taxes, but Sarah actually asked me to be the godfather to her new baby. Sometimes, the free spirit you're looking for is just the lady next door who makes a mean sourdough. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.